increase and decrease. We will start with increase. Okay, so I've gone ahead to make a chain of 20 so we can just get right into it. So I'm going to do a foundation chain first. I'm going to chain 2, enter the third one, yarn over, go under the third loop, third chain from the top, yarn over, pull through, then you have 3 on your chain, yarn over, pull through 3. So we do this till we get to the end of the row. Okay, so at the end of that row, so we're going to reduce, or rather increase. We're going to increase first. So yeah, chain 2. Now remember, when we are trying to make the row straight, we don't enter this first one, yeah, but for increase you can, if you want a sharp increase, yeah, you can you enter this first one, yarn over, go under. So this then becomes 2 stitches under 1, yeah. You can continue going, you can put 2 in here, depends on how much. I'd advise you to experiment and see what works for you. If you want like sharp increases, if you want it to increase very fast, do you understand? So but for me, for learning purposes, I'm just going to put 1 and only increase the beginning and the end. So I'll do this for about 2-3 rows and show you. But let me just show you how I increase at the end. I'll do it for the 3rd row, and then I'll just go off camera and then come back once I reach like 5-6 rows, yeah. So you think this one is on top of this one, so we're going to increase at this end. This is the last one here. We'll add another one into that same hole. So then chain 2, turn your work, and then increase as well in this one. So I've reached the end of the row. I'm just going to pull this. Oh. So here, you can see what it looks like. Gradual. So I'm going to do, so this is what an increase basically looks like, and that's the method for increase. If you notice that I'm using my row counter, so you can put it on your hook or you can use it when it's down. For me, I prefer to use it on my hook so that I'm conscious of it because I tend to forget when it's not on my hook. So you can use it when we're here, or you can use it here. For to use it when it's here, so it doesn't really obstruct my hand movement. So yeah. So I'm going to do one constant row, yeah. Then before I now go in for the decrease. So I'm still going to use this pattern for decrease. This work rather for decrease. So to keep your work steady, so I've already chained one. Now for half double crochet, chain two before you turn your work. So I chained one, that's why I lose. So now it's two. So for increase, for steady, you don't put inside this first one. Yeah, you put inside this next one. And yeah, basically that's what you do till the end of the row. Sorry. This row counter also helps in pattern writing, so you know what you did in so row. Yeah, for like the, for example, well, that's if you want to get into pattern writing. So I'll just leave that for those who want to enter pattern writing. There'll be a course in it. Sorry for the noise. So you're going to put only one inside this one. And that's that. You don't put two at the end. So now, you turn your work. So I'm going to enter row 10. So to decrease is literally just putting two stitches and making them one. So you're giving it one head. For decrease, after I keep this row steady, so I'm not entering this one, I'm entering this one. I go in for the decrease. So you go like you're going for normal half double crochet. Then you enter the next stitch. Now you have 4, you pull through 4. So 2 stitches become one, have one head. And proceed. So usually for flat work, I reduce at the beginning and at the end, the beginning and at the end. One stitch after a steady, I decrease, and then towards the end, one stitch before, 2 stitches before the end, I decrease. Yeah, so the same principle also applies for decrease. If you want to decrease sharply, yeah, you can do as many decreases as you need, but I would advise if you do a decrease here, you can do 2 decreases here, 2 decreases at the end, or 1 decrease here, 1 decrease in the middle, and 1 decrease at the end. If you want it to reduce faster or decrease faster, you can do as many decreases as you want. So yeah, for me, I like a gradual decrease. So instead 2 to the end, sorry, so this is the end, so these are the 2 before the end. So I'm going to enter this one, yeah, enter the next one, half 4, make it 1, then steady, steady, steady. When I say steady, means I didn't enter the first one just in case. And then I'm decreasing for 2 heads turn into 1. Okay. This is 1, 2, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are 2, I'm joining to 1. So I'm just going to decrease till about row 15 and then come back to show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the end of the 15th row, as you can see. So I'm just gonna pull this so you can see what it looks like. So you can see the increase, you can see the sharp decrease. Halfway through, I decided to do a sharp decrease, so you just see what it looks like. And I had decreased in the middle, so I put the stitch marker here. I decreased before and after the stitch marker. Where the stitch marker is, I didn't decrease, I just put 1 stitch inside, so that goes all the way up. So I want you to know that you're seeing the way it's bending. This is because of the decrease I did in the middle. If I did not decrease in the middle, it wouldn't be bending like this. So it's sort of like squeezing sort of in the middle, which is very normal for decreases in the middle. So I'm going to teach another reason why you should border. Bordering defines the shape of your work. See the way it made this look so defined? You know, it's a rectangle, period. So what we have is sort of like, I think it's a hexagon. Hexagon is 6-sided, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna border it. Yeah, I was thinking of changing to another pin, but let me just use this 4 mm. I think I want to use my 3.5 now. So using multiple pins, crochet pins when you're working is very normal actually. I'm going to change mine from my 4 mm to 3.5 mm. Chain 1, doing a single crochet to every stitch. Isn't this the tipping point, Chrissy? This is where we kept it constant. So you can see. You can now, you can decide to, I say you should put 2 inside here. It just sort of gives it a bend, allows it bend. So this one is for this side, this one is for this side. This side is like this because so this place isn't showing an increase because this this row was constant. Remember, we did not do an increase in the first row, so that's why it's looking like a curve. Yeah. So I'm seeing that this place is still a bit puffy because of the increase, the decrease I did here. So, but other than that, if there was no decrease here, this was for lesson purpose, it's supposed to be flat. So if you do not increase in the middle, your work is supposed to be flat. If it is not flat, there is a problem somewhere. So I'll go in with my smaller hook. To hide this. So this is a summary of today's work: half double crochet, how to keep your work straight and how to border it to help keep your work straight, and then to show you how to define your work. Yeah, also helps you tell the difference in the front and the back of your work. Increase, decrease, we bordered to define the shape. Yeah, so I believe this is the end of today's lesson, and see you in the next lesson.